Alrighty, we're in. Turn that music down a little bit. You tell me if that seems reasonable. I'm gonna take the headphones off. Alright. There's a handful in here. Oh, Sora says it's so empty. Yeah, it's gonna be quiet. Like, it's pretty late, and I didn't really give any warning that this was gonna be happening, so I just sort of went for it and hoped for the best. So, yeah, I'm not expecting a massive number of people, but that's all good. How's it going anyway? I'm trying to do this thing. I haven't been good at it, but I'm trying to do live streams like as I release a video. So whenever I like put a video out, I'll go live at the same time. That way I'm more likely to get more views on the video in the first like couple hours. That's usually when you get a decent chunk, especially of your regular viewers. So that way you guys can see, oh, he's posted a video, I'll watch it, and then you see that he's gone live. I'm here. And we can hang out, we can chat. So, Lufer is here, right on time, 7 o'clock p.m. US. So it's probably, this is one of the problems, is like doing a live stream at this time of day is usually not the best, because a lot of like people on the other side of the world are all in bed. So yeah. And Ethan is here. Hi Ethan, you doing well? Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone is doing well. So, sweet. I think everything sounding all right, and is everything looking okay? I feel like it looks a little different than normal. It looks a little like fluffier. Is that is that weird to say? Looks like a little. Yeah. It's really bizarre, right? So this is the Sigma 16mm on my FX30. And I don't have any diffusion filter, but for some reason my lights are all like going super diffused. Also, the banding on that is really bizarre. The LUT is doing something weird. So, ignore that. But I guess whenever you stream, you don't tend to get the highest bit rate possible. So, but yes. Alright, where's my analytics stuff? I actually don't have that pulled up. There we go. Alright. Sweet. Oh, we got some questions. Sora says, thoughts on the new Sirui Astra full frame autofocus lenses. Also loving the setup using the S9's LUTs. No, so this is the FX30 with a LUT. I would switch to the S9 for this, but I find for some reason the way that I do my live streams, if I plug my mic directly into my PC, the way that I do the video is delayed to the audio. So instead I have my mic running directly into the FX30. That way it's more well synced in theory. The Sirui Astras, I haven't got to try them. They were going to send me them. It was like super busy and I said no. And they were only going to send me one. So, this might sound like really pretentious. If it's a lens set, I usually don't review it unless I can get more than one, because I want to make sure that they're actually like consistent, which turns out they are. Like, a lot of the videos seemed really good to say that they're pretty consistent across the board. Like the color profile and stuff looks really even, which is really good. But yeah, they're only going to send me just the 50mm, but I would want to make sure that the full set is worth buying to recommend to you guys. Do I recommend the Lumix S5 II or the Sony A6700? So, fun fact. By the end of this month, I will be getting a new camera, and it is an S5 IIX. So I can't answer that fully right now because I don't have it, but I ordered an S5 IIX, and I'm very excited about it because I got it for $14.95 before taxes and shipping. but that came with a cage. Because I'm working on a video of the best camera under $1,500, and I have 3 cameras in that category, which would be the A6700, the Nikon ZF, and the Lumix S5 IIX, because it's like cameras that I could find for under $1,500. So it costs more than $1,500, but yeah, I got more. I got it for less. So anyway, that's that. Maybe decompression. It's showing up on my screen as well. I'm wondering if it's doing a LUT in camera on the FX30 and then sending that out. Does something a bit weird. I have a funny feeling it might be that. So I should just add the LUT in OBS, but I did it in camera instead. So S5 II all day, every day. I think he's right. Like, again, I don't have it in hand. I have my Lumix S9. You know what? This does kind of answer the question. I would take my Lumix S9 over my A6700. I have both, and I like both. Most people these days prefer full frame, and it offers more, like, specs wise. You've got dual card slots, you've got 6K, you've got open gate, you've got a ton of stuff. So, a lot of people seem to be agreeing S5 for sure. Dude with a beard. Dude with a beard. Thank you guys. Should I get the kit with the 20-60 and 50mm prime? The S primes look great. I don't know about the kit, and people seem to like the kit lens. I've never used it. I do want to get my hands on that 24-60 f2.8. That one looks awesome. But yeah. Or just body or one lens. Yeah, so I typically don't use kit lenses. I don't recommend kit lenses, but people do seem to like that 20-60. And the thing I like about the 20-60 is it is a different focal length. Like, 20 is a good wide lens. Like the difference from 20 to 24 is pretty significant. Is the FX30 still worth it to buy when I have APS-C lenses? If you have APS-C lenses, that you can't take with you to full frame, then yeah, I would buy it used and try to find a good deal on it. If you can find it under $1,700, I think you'd be doing well. But it's just all of Sony's cameras right now, because of tariffs, are just too expensive. Like, I think the A6700 right now is on sale for $1,500, but MSRP was $1,400 as far as I could remember. So, like, it's kind of annoying, and I don't think that's necessarily Sony's fault. Like, tariffs are obviously going to be involved, but they're just a little expensive. If you've got loads of APS-C Sony lenses that you don't want to have to sell, then yeah, FX30 is probably the best APS-C camera, in my opinion. I'm still using mine, so, and I will probably always use mine because I love running XLR mics instead of, and having that XLR handle is really nice, especially if you do podcasts or anything like that. The XLR handle's great. That's the kit that I started with, and I haven't used the 2060 at all. I don't know if that answers your question, Ethan, but hopefully it does. Where are we at? Me too. I have the 50mm and the 2060, and I use them all the time. Oh, there you go. So a little bit of a I think it just depends on your use case. If you've used what are they called? It's gone. If you've used kit lenses, that's the word. If you've used kit lenses before and you find them useful, then yeah, keep using them. I've just never used them. So love my nifty 50. Yeah, 50 mils are great. I'm falling in love with the 40 mil. Let me hang on. So 40mm has quickly become my favorite focal length. I lent this out recently, but just got it back. The XM5 with this little TT Artisan 27mm. It's a 2.8. 27 is the equivalent of about 40. I love it. It's just a fun focal length. It's, you know, it's right between 35 and 50, and it just gives you something a little bit different, which I really quite like. Yo, stoked for this live stream. Love the 100 subs. Oh, thank you. Totally agree that everyone should give YouTube a shot, for sure. Yeah, John, I think You started a little after I did. We got chatting pretty early on. Yeah, it's fun. I love it. I don't understand why people wouldn't do YouTube. Like, the sad part is, I mean, it is some work, but I really do think it's great. Like, and it doesn't matter what you do, you know, like, you can literally be into anything and share it on YouTube. Obviously some niches are going to have larger audiences than others, but still, views don't really matter. The best of, I'm going to make a video about this probably next month, but like the best YouTube advice that I ever heard was to, sorry, I've got neighbors yelling outside, is that like whenever you look at your view count, to put that number in a room. So like if you're getting 100 views per video and you're like dissatisfied and you're wanting tens of thousands, like 100 people is a huge number. Like if you put that in a room, for the smaller content creators out there, you know, you can kind of walk away discouraged sometimes, but when you put that number in a room, all of a sudden it's a lot of people. Thank you for the advice, guys. I'm finishing a documentary for school in Japan this spring, and so I'm looking to upgrade from a Fuji X-T20. Very cool. Yeah. I think the X-T20 is the same innards as the XM5, right? That almost, I mean, the X-T10 was almost my first, not my first, like it almost had me switch, because I love that body style. It looks really, really cool. I'm back. I've been in jail. I'm guessing that that's figurative for something, or you've been in prison. I don't know. FX30 should be bought, only used at this point. Yep. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's true for most cameras. Honestly, probably the same with the S5. You know, it's used, and like you can find S5 Mark IIs for like $1,300 pretty easily, which is a crazy deal for that camera. And you second this, very good. Thoughts on the Comica VM40? I like mine. I don't have mine anymore. I gave it to a friend of mine. He's using it for his streaming setup because you can actually USB-C it straight into a computer. Yeah, I loved it. If I didn't have better mics, I would use it a lot more. I think I have. Sorry, let me put that away. Like for most of my YouTube videos, I'm either using this, my Shure SM7B, or Sennheiser MKH416. And that's why I said, like, I love using XLR capable cameras, because I want to use the nicer mics that I have. So I would, I mean, it is very nice. The internal recording is really nice. I used to use it, actually it used to just sit on my desk. And if I ever was editing a video and I realized that I missed a line or something that I need to say, I would just pick it up and record something onto it and then just plug it in and slap some B-roll over the top, and then that kind of filled that space. So it was very handy for stuff like that. YT or YouTube G-Max is here. Hello. Lots a handful of people coming in. Did you ever use the Rigid Pro? I didn't. The Omnia. All right, so I was going to get a Rigid Pro. I don't know if I should say this. I'll say it. I was going to buy a Rigid Pro, or like a knockoff version, and then Rigid Pro also contacted me. But I actually shot a message to Caleb Pike, and sort of asked about, you know, patents and if all that kind of stuff, like, you know, because it is kind of a rip-off of his Cineback. And he said that they were hoping to work on a patent, but they didn't have one. And I was going to follow through and look at the Rigid Pro stuff, but I just kind of decided not to, because it was, I don't know, it was very expensive, and it was sort of a rip-off of a fellow YouTuber's product. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy it, or if you have one that you shouldn't have bought it. I just never got into it. And then the Omnia I actually just don't like the design of, personally. I don't like that they kind of encourage you to have the handle coming from the back going forwards. I've tried that on rigs before. But you can build a rig that looks just like that for $300. So I'd probably recommend doing something like that instead. And what universal lens should I buy for? Oh, there is no. I don't think there is such a thing as a universal lens for some reason, or not for some reason. Like, I don't think there is such a thing as a universal lens. All lenses have their shortcomings. You're probably looking at a zoom, but zooms don't have the best low light. So you're probably... The only one I can think of is the Tamron 17-70. It has the largest zoom range, and it has stabilization, and it's an f2.8. So it's not super shallow depth of field, but it'll do most of what you need it to. I mean, if you're needing to get super zoomed in, like all the way to 200 or something, you're just going to need to get like a 24-105 or something, one of those kind of lenses that are usually f4. But there's not usually... It's very hard to say there's a do-it-all lens. So that would be a bit of a problem. Okay, for some reason, my chat on my thing that helps me bring it up on the screen is not refreshing. But I can see there are more over on this screen. So give me a second and I'm going to try, see if I can get that sorted. Pop out chat. Let me see. Oh, did that do it? This live stream is the best. Oh, that's a sample. Ignore that. You didn't see it. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Why is that white dot there? Okay, where were we? Papa X Zombie, not Papa X. The cops stole my FX30 when I got arrested. Called evidence ridiculous. Were you the guy that was trolling about something similar to this in one of the other live streams? I don't know. Alright, what would you call the go-to podcast cameras for a 3-camera setup? Something that's Sony, or would you say Nikon is better? And that is mid-range budget, not an FX3. For podcasts, probably the FX30. I think the FX30 is... If you're wanting to be in the Sony ecosystem, probably the FX30. No, you're never going to run into overheating. You can just plug it into USB-C and it'll just keep running full-size HDMI that you can run into a switcher. That's how I like to do podcasts. Anytime we've done podcasts before, like right now, I've got this running into a switcher, and then I would have somebody running the switcher to change it while live, basically, and do it as like a recording. So, oh, message got redacted. That's weird. Well, I still pulled it up anyway, so... Sorry, Yusuf. But yeah, if you're sticking in Sony and that's what you want to say, I would say FX30. If you're looking outside of that, probably like an S5 II. Or if you want to stay in, or if you're looking at Nikon, I don't know if Nikon have like a budget camera that could do that. Maybe a Z6 III or Z5 II, something like that. I don't know. You can't go wrong. The main thing for me is usually if you have an audio interface where you're recording audio externally, then you don't need to worry about the like the type of mics that your camera can accept. But if you're wanting to run XLR mics and the microphones into the camera, then something with XLR is going to be great. So an FX30 or one of the Lumix lenses with the XLR adapter would work pretty well. I'm a film student from Germany. I have the Tamron 28-70 2.8 with the ZV-E10. I'm thinking about upgrading to the FX30, or would you advise me to go with full frame for future projects? The 28-70 is a full frame lens, right? You're not meaning the 17-70? Because the 28-70 is full frame, so you'd be pretty free to move up to full frame if you wanted to. Don't know. It's up to you if you want to. I mean, usually people struggle to jump to full frame because of their lenses. I'm actually going to make a video about this coming up soon. About if you're an APS-C, you should probably start buying some of the cheaper full frame lenses because they're getting so much cheaper. So that wouldn't hinder you. But the FX30 is very good. I don't know. That's a hard one. It depends on what you do. I know you said you're a film student, but depends on what kind of stuff you're filming and what your needs are. But you're pretty well set up to do either. FX30 or full frame, if that's the lens that you have. But if you have a handle from the back, you get more stable because of battery on the back and lens on the front. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. I mean, it depends where you put your handle. Like, yeah, if it helps you be more balanced, then sure. It depends on your lens, right? If you've got a really big lens on the front, having the handle right at the back is actually worse. Because it's going to be really front heavy. You want the handle actually kind of in the middle of the whole rig. Obviously, the way that they tend to do it is the handle is at the back, but it's facing forwards, which I just think looks dumb. Like, it's complete vanity. Like, I just think it looks silly. I don't think it actually is important. But I should do a video. This is a separate video. I should do a video about how to make a rig look sexy, but not actually like it, just for vanity's sake. Not functional, just form, you know, form over function. Yes. What did I ask you? Oh yeah, are you the guy who trolled? Yeah, fair enough. Seems like I might. Nah, we just got here. What time is it? Yeah, 20 minutes. Not bad at all. You have the 17 to 70. Yes, if you have the 17 to 70 and you don't want to sell it, then I would go FX30. But lenses hold their value pretty well, so you could probably still get a decent penny for the 17 to 70 if you wanted to move up. But again, with the FX30, just buy it used. It's not worth buying new for how much is the FX30 right now? It's probably like, I'm gonna guess it's 1900, which I sure hope it isn't. Let's see, yeah, 1872. Oh, 1798, so 1800 bucks for the body only. I think you could get it cheaper than that. With the XLR 100, it's 2200 still. I mean, on Amazon, there's a used one there for, oh, where'd it go? It was 1589. So that's already better. That's like 200 bucks off. More, $210 off on used, very good condition. That's not bad. Yeah, I definitely buy it used. If that's the one you end up going with, I would definitely go used. I agree with you that there is no better camera than the FX30. There are better cameras than the FX30. In Sony's lineup for the money, I think there are no better cameras than the FX30. But we'll see. Yeah, Sony's just, I'm not in love with what they're doing with their pricing right now. Everything just feels really high. It kind of feels like the new Canon. I always thought Canon was just too expensive, you know, and that there wasn't any reason to buy it because there was, you know, Sony's were just so much cheaper, and that seems to have changed. So yeah, I don't know. It really depends what you do. Like, I do YouTube, right? So like, I got a comment that I had a lot of fun with the other day. I got a comment on a video that I ended up pinning. So I made a video which, okay, let's be fair, it was slightly clickbaity. I do apologize for the clickbait of last week's video, which was me returning my Nikon ZR, which I was like, if you've been following it, it's been a rental, and you have to return a rental. So I just told people that I was returning my Nikon ZR, which I was. Anyway, my final thoughts on it. One of the comments I ended up pinning. Let me see if I can find it here, because it was a good one, in my opinion. In the video, I basically said, like, I'm not going to end up buying the Nikon ZR because I do YouTube. I don't need that. Like, I don't need RAW. If Brandon ends up coming in here, Brandon Talbot, he does want the RAW for YouTube. And that's fine. Like, use it. Like, he makes beautiful videos with it. I just don't want to. And it's just, I don't need it. Literally, my Lumix S9 does almost everything that I need it to, except XLR. So that's where the S5 IIX is coming in. But yeah, basically the whole video was me saying, like, I don't need this, you know, and that's fine. Like, it's better than I need for my work. And a guy left a comment and said, you just bought this for a review, man. Come on. First off, I didn't buy it. I rented it. Let's be realistic. You act as if you're a cinematographer. You're really not. Your work doesn't show for it. You're just another camera reviewer that's mediocre, which is completely true. Like, that's so true. I'm mediocre. Like, he emphasized my point for me, which was great. Because I was literally saying, it's like, yeah, I don't need this. This camera is better than I need. And it might seem like a waste. Why am I talking about this? I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'm going to keep going. It might seem like a waste to make a video saying I'm not buying something, but I've seen that viewers buy things based off of YouTubers' recommendations too easily. So they, like, this might sound weird. I feel like a lot of people need someone to say, you don't need this. It's okay. Like, you don't need to buy this. So that's kind of what that video was all about. And that kind gentleman emphasized my point, so I pinned it for him. So, how about A6700 versus FX30? They are very different. Same image, but very different cameras. So, for video, they'll produce basically the same image. But the A6700 is obviously much more designed for photography. So, you know, you got your EVF, you've got your mechanical shutter. I don't know what else. You don't have the XLR handle, the fan, the full-size HDMI. So, now the A6700 can produce the same video quality image, but it's the nice-to-haves that the FX30 has that makes it better for video, obviously, with HDMI, XLR, USB-C power delivery, which I think the A6700, you can charge the battery with USB-C, but I don't think it's like as much as the FX30. So, so yeah, they're just different. If you're doing video, I would just say FX30 all day. But if you're doing hybrid work, probably A6700. If you're definitely between those two cameras. Do you think there will be an FX3 second generation soon? No. I don't think it's anytime soon. I think it'll be at least a year or two. Probably 2. In my opinion. There was a big gap between the A7S2 and the A7S3. And the A7S3 is just the FX3, but in the hybrid body. So I think it'll be a while. Especially with them having just released a new FX camera, the FX2, which I understand wasn't popular, but they did just come out with it. So, so yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the ZV-E10 first generation now? So it's interesting. A camera's image doesn't change over time. So, like, if I go back and I look at the videos that I made with the original ZV-E10, like 2 years ago, I was making quite a lot of stuff about the ZV-E10. I still like the image that it can produce, but I think you can get better cameras for the money. I certainly wouldn't buy it new, because it's still like $700. I wouldn't buy it new, but I think it could be worth. You know, if you can get a really good deal on it used and you're really on a tight budget, or maybe you just love that camera and you want it for nostalgia's sake. Like, I don't have one right now, but I would be tempted to buy one just to like put on a shelf, because like that's what that's the camera that kicked off this whole channel. So I'd be tempted to get one for that. I don't think I'd recommend somebody to buy it now. I think the Fujifilm XM5 is the new budget king. And I don't recommend the ZV-E10 Mark II, personally. If you have it, like, here's one of the really annoying things about YouTube. If I say I don't recommend something, people automatically think that I hate their camera. I'm not saying that. If you have it, use it. I had all three, the ZV-E10 II, A6700, and the FX30, and I was very quick to get rid of the ZV-E10 Mark II. The A6700 just made way more sense to me. But again, if you have it and you're enjoying it, keep using it. That would be my take. I just realized I forgot my blue light. Hang on, I'm going to move my blue light. It's not working. Well, it kind of worked. Not really. Sorry about that. Probably just lost like 5 people. That's okay. I'm trying to fix that. It didn't work. And it's not, look, it's hitting my, oh wait, where am I? It's hitting the ceiling fan. This is a disaster. What am I doing? Anyway, sorry, there's my rant about the original ZV-10. Fun camera. I loved it. But it's been a while, and I think there's other options. It is true. I think that any camera company that can come out with a solid option under $1,000 right now is going to start winning. Like the Canon R50V. Canon's swing towards popularity in this last year, I think, started with the R50V. Because if you can get the beginners, you're going to lock them in, you know. There's an adapter for the XLR handle for the A6700. That's true. Yeah. I don't think you can buy it in the kit though. So yeah, that's the name of it there. So if you, what is the adapter, like $400? Not the adapter. Sorry, the handle. Like if you buy the handle separately, it's very expensive. And I think an A6700, by the time you buy an A6700 and spend a few $100s on the XLR adapter, I think you're entering into other camera territory, personally. But you're right, yeah, you definitely could. Like if you're needing one camera to do a little bit of everything, it could definitely do that. I started to use my old 5D Mark II for YouTube. 5D Mark II? It's a slow workflow, but I really like the video I'm getting. I'm looking into a ZV-E1 because of the short flange. Okay. Dude, that's sick. Cat's music journey. I'll need to look at your stuff here, because that's sweet using an old camera like that. Let me look you up. I don't know if that's actually your channel or not, but I just like the idea of all right, I hit subscribe. I have subscribed. So very cool. Yeah, there's something. I think there's something cool about using sort of cheaper, older cameras. I really do. I think it's a cool thing. I've been very tempted to go back to the Pocket 4K, the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, because I thought that would be a really fun, like, nostalgic camera to hop back into. All right, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? I got the ZV-10 as a starting camera almost 2 years ago when I came across your channel and some others. Yeah, I mean, it was the starter camera, especially a couple of years ago, because you could find, even 2 years ago, you were finding them used for less than what you can find them for now, which is wild. Like, they are holding their value really well right now. Like, I'm struggling to find one under $500. I mean, they are there, but they're pretty beaten up at that point. Good evening, Tom. Wit here. What would be preferable to streaming webcam roll? Canon R50V or ZV-10 II? So I've never used the R50V, but it definitely seems more designed for it than the ZV-10 II. The ZV-10 II, I had more problems with overheating than the A6700 or my FX30. And I would say the R50V is substantially cheaper. And it's newer. So, but I don't know much about it. So I would definitely check out more videos on it. Trying to think of any creators who did a lot of videos on the R50V. Maybe I should buy an R50V. Make some videos. I don't know. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Let me know just in the comments here if looking at the R50V would be of interest to you guys. Our wedding videographers still shoot these on 5D Mark IV. It turns out great. That's really cool. I didn't know people still use DSLRs. Is that, like, I know people use them, but I didn't know people professionally use them. Do you know what I mean? Like I see people out, you know, walking through a forest with like a Rebel, because everybody's had a Rebel at some point. But that's really cool. People still using 5D Mark IVs. Legendary camera. That was like the tidal sweep of cameras for consumers was the 5D Mark IV. I apologize if you can hear a lot of noise. We've got people at the house and it's a little chaotic. So, do you think there will be an APS-C camera that will be better for film than the FX30? Yeah. Eventually. Right now, I think it's pretty high up there if you want to stay in APS-C. It also depends on your needs. I mean, I would actually say that the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro is a better camera than the FX30. But it doesn't have autofocus, it doesn't have auto anything. It's got an EF mount, which is pretty restrictive. So, like, does that make sense? So, like, I would use that camera if I was filming music videos, which that was like my main camera for, well, I had like a year where I did about 5 or 6 music videos. And that was my camera, and it was awesome. It was so good. But I wouldn't use it for YouTube. And I probably wouldn't use it for weddings. Could use it for weddings. So yeah, it just depends on your use case. I think we're going to see a slow death of APS-C. But I don't know. It might come back. You know, we'll see. Thank you, that's very kind of you. The latest video is shot on the 5D, and I have one cooking right as we speak. Nice. Very cool. Congrats on your transition full-time. Yeah, that's happening next month. So, it's terrifying. So, but, you know, the finances of YouTube are not regular. Like, last month's paycheck was one of the largest paychecks I've ever received. But this month's paycheck's really small. Like, it really just depends. So for, like, basically the month where there was the Amazon Prime Day, like, my affiliate sales were ridiculous. I mean, it was stupid how well it did for the size of my channel. But yeah, then like Black Friday did nothing. But it's like nothing. But that's fine. You know, that's just the way it works, and that's what we're prepared for. We've been working a lot. So for those of you who don't know, like I'm a youth pastor, full-time youth pastor at a church, and I absolutely love it there. But we've built up a solid team of people, one of whom is hopefully going to be taking my job in January. And she's going to be fantastic at it. So I'm not needed in that same capacity. So I've been full-time at the church, which, if anybody knows church work, it's pretty intense. It's a lot of work. And my wife and I opened a coffee shop. So we've had a coffee shop, small business, like brick and mortar coffee shop for 3 years. And we've been building that up, and that's been great, but we just sold it. So we sold it. We also were fixing up a house for the last 3 years and renovating that, and we're in the process of selling that. So that has given us a pretty big cushion, a pretty big buffer financially that gives us the freedom to do this, which is really, it's a huge blessing. So that's kind of how we've been able to do it. I don't tend to talk money, and I'm not going to give out any figures or numbers, but it's just been nice that we're going from having basically like 3 jobs, so coffee shop, church, and YouTube, down to just YouTube. And my wife is working like 1 or 2 days a week on her little side gig. Just enough to pay the rent, and we're good. So, simplifying life down. So, thoughts on the Tamron 17-300? Never used it. Cool though. That's a cool idea. 70-300. I'm guessing that's like a f3.5 to 6 point something. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that lens. I'll have to look into it. Congrats on the growth of the channel and going full time. Thank you. I've enjoyed your channel for a year or two now. Have you tried the 20 to 200? See, I'm not a zoom lens person at all. Matthew Dangy and I were talking about this the other day. Like, I was saying, but I was looking for a prime for my Lumix cameras, and he was like, "I'll just get zooms," and I was like, "I hate zooms." He's like, "Well, I hate primes," and I was like, "Well, this isn't going anywhere." So he doesn't hate primes, but like he will always use zoom lenses, and I will almost always use prime lenses. So, oh, audio went weird. Are we back to normal? It could be my internet is good, might go a bit weird. Let me know if it's back to normal. I do apologize. Me personally, despite feeling outgrown from it, I love the Nikon D3100 that I purchased 6 years ago. Works like clockwork. Nice. My first camera was the 5300, I think. That's one I need to put in a frame, or like on a plinth. That was my very first camera, the Nikon D5300, back in the day. You got to grab an RF50V. It delivers more than its price. You'd have fun with it. Yeah, I think it would be fun to compare to the Fuji, because they're in a similar price point. That's sort of $7-ish, $100. Are we good? Are we back audio wise? Okay, we're no thumbs up. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Sorry about that. If you entered on the ZV-10 and were thinking about upgrading, but you have a limited budget, would you upgrade the camera body or prioritize accessories and lens? It depends on the lenses you have. If you're happy with the lenses you have, then I would upgrade the body. The ZV-10 can produce a good image, but you really have to be careful with it, and you need to really know its downsides and how to play to its strengths. It's not impossible, but you can do it. That's a hard one. It's a hard one. I hate to recommend people to upgrade their gear when they don't need to. So it really depends what you're filming. Again, you can get by with your phone, but I understand people like to have better gear than that. So it really depends on your lenses that you have. Is full frame worth it if you have f1.2 APS-C lenses? Sony a6700 with a Viltrox 27mm and 75mm. Very happy for your success over the last couple of years. Thank you. I remain very inspired. I don't know how to word this. I am perfectly fine with APS-C. I think full frame can be overrated. So, in saying that, if the only thing that you're trying to get is a blurry background, f1.2 is fine. Yeah, you're gonna be good. I actually, half the time that I film, I'm at f2 to f5, especially, I mean, more for photography. A lot of photography, because I'm trying to do a lot more landscape photography and street photography. I'm at f4 to f5.6 most of the time. But if you just want to blow out the background, yeah, f1.2 is fine. People go pretty crazy about full frame. But if you show them, if you just show somebody a clip, they will never know what size sensor it was on. I actually did this as a test. This was a couple of years ago. Oh, people got so triggered by this. So I put out a poll on Instagram where I showed 2 screenshots, and I said, okay, they looked almost identical. And I said, one of them is APS-C, one of them is full frame, which is which? And everybody guessed, let's say, everybody guessed B was full frame because the background was slightly blurrier. Just slightly blurrier. What I didn't tell them is that one of them was APS-C and one of them was Micro Four Thirds. This music's getting kind of annoying. I'm going to turn off the music. I'm sorry. One of them was Micro Four Thirds and one of them was APS-C, and everybody picked Micro Four Thirds because the difference was the lens, not the. It had nothing to do with the background blur, right? So I just put a slightly wider lens with a shallower depth of field on the Micro Four Thirds, and everybody thought that one was full frame. So nobody knows. Like, people can't actually tell. That's kind of, people got very upset about that one. That might be one of my most disliked videos that I ever made. So, okay, last question. Go with the FX30 and stick with my APS-C lenses, or sell the lens and get a new camera and lens in a €2,500 budget? Oh, I don't know. Look, they're all good. They're all good cameras. I don't. Sorry, there's a lot of people talking, so it's hard to tell. I don't remember what it is you're filming. So with €2,500, you could get a good setup. So I think you had the 20 or the 17 to 70. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard one. it really depends on your needs. So, and like what you can get used. Just shop used, you can save a ton of money. What's your opinion on the A7 IV compared to the A7 IV? It seems good. Yeah, it seems like a great camera. I think it especially is better for photographers. The photography specs seem really good. I mean, I'm pretty excited for an A7C Mark III, if that, like, because I like small compact cameras, and yeah, I'd be pretty excited about an A7C Mark III if it's just the A7 V in a smaller body. My problem with it is it's just too expensive, you know. But I'd say the same thing about a lot of cameras, and too expensive is entirely subjective. Like the S1 II for me is too expensive. The S1 IIe, too expensive, because it is just an S5 Mark II X in a slightly different body. No, the body is definitely better, but that's why I just ordered my S5 IIX, which I'm really excited about. That's like, I'm excited about that camera. And again, I focus on cheaper gear, so it makes sense for me to buy cheaper gear. It would be pretty hypocritical of me to be talking about cheap gear and recommending cheap gear if I'm using a $25,000 camera, you know. Oh, you got Fuji compact mirrorless, so not so many camera tech YouTubers cover them. That'd be much appreciated. Yeah, I really like this little XM5 as a little street camera. I just lent it to a friend and she took it to Yosemite and loved it, absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's a really fun little camera. There's a guy, Gray Bray. Let me see. He covers loads of Fuji stuff on YouTube. So I'd check out him if you're interested. In that Gray Bray, I think it's Gray Bray. I could be completely wrong. No, it's not that. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry if he's in here. I've seen him in the chat a couple of times. Fuji film. He did a lot about the XT30, I believe. But yeah, I would. There's a decent amount of them out there, of people covering these cameras. You just got to go look for them, because I don't think YouTube pushes Fuji cameras towards Sony people very much, because I never saw any. Hey guys, again, nice to see you. Sorry, I'm going to start trying to fly through these. APS-C lenses would negate full frame sensor since it's a crop lens. Yes. There's not a huge amount of point for having APS-C lenses with a full frame sensor. I would say even just 2 years ago, APS-C lenses, the big thing was they were so much cheaper. That's changing. So there's a lot of third-party full frame lenses that are the same price, if not cheaper, than APS-C. So I think the pendulum has swung. I think for most beginners, I would recommend getting an APS-C camera, like depending on what camera brand you're in, and full frame lenses. That way when you upgrade, you can just take your lenses with you. You'd have to calculate the crop. Yep. But that's easy to do. I mean, when people start panicking about like, it's not as wide as I want it to be, just do the math. It's easy. Would you like to react on some videos? That would be fun. I had thought about that. But I don't know what I would react to. I do really enjoy like react videos, but I don't know what I would react to, because I'm not like a professional in a space. Like, I'm not a cinematographer. So I don't know. I don't know what I'd react to. YouTube short films, that'd be kind of fun. Brandon is here. Hello, Brandon. Sorry, I saw your message pop up a little bit earlier, but I'm trying to race through. I hope you're doing well. How's all the? I feel like Brandon has more cameras than I do, and that's saying something, because I have a serious problem. So you might be in the same boat as I am. Opinions on the Sony ZV-10. We talked about that about 15 minutes ago. So you definitely go back and check it out. If you're on an insanely tight budget and you're buying used, yeah, sure. But probably go for like a Canon R50V instead, if you're really, really tight on money. My first 75 videos, wow, you posted a lot, were shot on iPhone plus cinematic. It does the job. Yeah, that's like, if I enjoyed shooting on a phone that's probably what I would do and what I would be trying to recommend to most people on YouTube. But I just don't enjoy doing it. I really I love cameras, so I'm gonna keep talking about cameras. Like, I just don't find phone photography fun. I was talking to somebody else about this. There's another YouTuber. Oh, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but we were talking about maybe doing a collab of talking about how phone photography sucks. Because it's not inspiring. Like, just doing this is just not as cool. It's just not as fun. Like, especially compared to a camera that has a mechanical shutter. Like, if you, like that's just better. Oh, it just makes you feel like, I love it. Oh, that's my biggest, the only thing I don't like about my Lumix S9 is I wish it had a mechanical shutter, because I love that. I love that noise. All manufacturers are seeming to be hitting a dynamic range improvement between generations. Yeah. Dynamic range is definitely getting better. Dude, I know I said that I don't, like, I didn't end up buying the Nikon ZR because I don't need it, but the Blackmagic 12K, the dynamic range and the softness of the image that I've been seeing people get, like, I say soft as in like the highlight transition to shadows, is just gorgeous. Like, I really want to get my hands on it, but it would be pretty hypocritical of me to send back a $2,200 camera and then go buy a $6,000 camera. Be like, no, I need it. So, lens recommendations for the Sony ZV-10. It depends. I would hop onto YouTube and search Sony ZV-10 lenses for, and then input what it is that you want to do. So if you're just wanting to take photos of your dogs, it'll have answers. If you're wanting to do wedding videos, it'll have answers. If you're doing sports, you can do that. Bray Gray! That's the guy I was talking about. He's here. I was just talking about you, about Fuji cameras. I called you Grey Bray. I'm so sorry. I mixed it up. Sorry, that seemed really random that I just yelled. Somebody said that they don't see very many Fuji people on YouTube, and I was saying that they should check out your videos. Sorry, I yelled. Maybe you could just, or maybe you'd like just give your opinion on some videos which we would send you. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, like have them from my own community. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be a good way to do it. Yeah, good idea. Do you have a drone? And if so, do you recommend one? Yes, I do have a drone. No, I don't recommend it. I got it. I have a Mavic Mini 3. So this is the one that I have. And it's good. Here's what I'll say about drones. Drones are like gimbals. I use my drone maybe once a year. So, and it's usually only if I have a job that requires it. So like if I do a real estate job or maybe a wedding, I hardly ever use them at weddings. But yeah, like drones are one of those things you will spend good money on and you will probably not use it very much. So yeah, just be cautious when buying a drone, because I feel that way about gimbals as well. I mean, you can see I've got one just sitting up there. There's camera gear that is worth buying, but you just have to be aware that you're going to be depressed at how little you use it. So, 2 down many right now. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I have like decision fatigue, because I'm like, I've got the ZF, FX30, A6700, the Fuji XM5, my S9, and now the S5 2X is on the way. And I think that's it. But it's because I'm trying to like have a camera in each lens or in each company so that I can review lenses and I can talk about them a little bit. I hope my wife isn't watching. I don't think she is. Canon, who am I kidding? She doesn't watch anything I make. Canon R8 with the kit 24 to 50. Sorry, I'm trying to read. APS-C buddies. Yeah, so I don't know anything about Canon's cameras, if I'm honest with you. I've heard about the R8. Handshake for you liking proper camera usage than phone. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just don't enjoy the the phone stuff. And it's not that phones can't produce a good image. People can make incredible things on a phone. I just don't want to do it. Sorry, 1 second. All right. I appreciate that you keep your channel more in the price range inhabited by hobbyists over pros. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually quite difficult. It's difficult to do, because the expensive cameras do really well on YouTube. Like, and that was the thing with the ZR. Like my video saying that I'm not gonna buy the ZR is my most disliked video on my channel. So I mean, it's only at like 89% positives, which is pretty good. But I think it's the first video I've ever made that was below 90% for thumbs up. But yeah, there was a lot of people didn't like it. So totally agree, phones work, but they're just not the same as using a dedicated camera. Absolutely. They're just not as fun. So I'm glad to see another live stream. Yeah, I'm glad. I saw you were the first person to comment on the other video. I haven't even checked to see how that video is doing. I hope it's doing okay. Nikon ZR for what quirky prototype-esque body it resulted to be has the best dynamic range. Has the best dynamic range? Yeah. It's sad that we still haven't... Oh, you haven't got it in your country yet? Fair enough. I started with the ZV-10 kit and zoom lens, picked up the TT Artisan 35 and 25. Manual focus recently, nothing high quality. Is there a lens that you / anyone would recommend between 11 and 40 millimeters? Answered. I don't know what answered me. If you're looking really wide, the Sony make an 11mm 1.8. The Viltrox 13mm is also a sweet lens. So I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the TT Artisan's lenses for the money. They've been cranking it up. I'm impressed. No worries, I just joined. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Hi, oh, Mr. Camera Junkie's here. My brain like fried because I started trying to read 7 comments at a time. I apologize. How's it going? All the people are here. I want to do real estate photography and also film promo videos. Film promo videos for businesses, and I'm wondering if the Panasonic 24-105 f4 is a good start. 20, usually for real estate, people would probably want something a bit wider than 24. Usually. You could get by with a 24, but I think if you can get under 20, that would be ideal. It's kind of hard to get like make a room look big with 24mm. And usually clients like their houses to look bigger than they are. So that's why people use like 12mm. I wouldn't recommend going as wide as 12, but you know, 15, 16 is usually a pretty sweet spot. So, but yeah, get something and figure it out. You can always try rent. I always recommend this, but try renting, because then you can try something for a month or a week and then send it back. So that's why I took my 5D out, even if it's a much slower workflow. It's just something else. Yeah, can't really describe it. It is just fun. It's nice and tactile to use a physical, like a camera. And it doesn't even need to be big for me. Like, I just think with phones it's just different. Last one for me tonight. What platform are you using to stream? OBS. Just OBS. I've been tempted to look into Ecamm. I just haven't got around to it yet. So next year, again, going full time next year, I might try moving to Ecamm, and I'm going to switch to DaVinci. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a professional and switch to switch to DaVinci. So that's going to be like, I've always said I want to switch to DaVinci. I just don't have the time to learn it. So that's going to be a big part of my January, is learning DaVinci. So we should do that on stream. I need to get Ezreal in here, and he can teach me on stream how to do DaVinci. You're up to 9. Dang, that's, yeah. Decision fatigue is hard. For real. Do you stream on a regular basis again? I definitely will in the next couple of weeks. It has been a chaotic month and a half of my life. It's probably been the busiest month and a half to 2 months of my life I've ever had. Yeah. I don't know. I hope to do it every week. That is the plan. But we'll see. At what subscriber count do live streams become worthwhile? I have a little under 1,000 subs, but it seems fun. Just do it. Yeah. Do it. What? Worst case scenario, nobody sees it. If nobody joins, nobody knows nobody joins. So just do it anyway, and have a plan. So like, I think the first couple that I did, I expected nobody. So I can't remember what I did. I didn't just like hop in and just wait for people to show up. I was talking about something in particular. Like I had a topic that I wanted to get across as if I was making a YouTube video. So you're called Bedrock Reviews. So what do you review Bedrock? Is that a thing? Like YouTube, or is like Minecraft Bedrock? If that's the case, you could actually just start you could start your live stream and just have a plan of something to talk about. The thing that I've found makes a big difference though with live streams is do add a thumbnail and, you know, treat it like you're uploading a video. Schedule it, all that kind of stuff. Are you more of a Windows or Mac user? Also, I switched to DaVinci over a year ago and it has been great. Can't wait for you to join the club. PC. Usually. I had a Mac Mini for a long time, but it was an M2 base model. And once you moved up to like H.265, whoa. Once I moved up to H.265 6K footage, it was starting to struggle. So I've built a lot of PCs, mainly for gaming. So I do a lot of gaming, and I think this is like my 5th or 6th PC that I've built. So yeah, it runs everything just fine. DaVinci is so sweet. Trust me, you won't regret it. I mean, I've owned the studio version for years because I've bought 3 or 4 different Blackmagic cameras. So I have it. I just need to use it. And then it's going to save me $23 a month from Premiere. I've paid about $20 a month for Premiere for at least 10 years. How disgusting is that? But I'm fast on it. Like I can edit quickly. So answer, you advise people to search it. Okay, fair enough. Makes sense. DaVinci Resolve is great. If you're familiar with Adobe Premiere, it will not be a big hassle to get accustomed to. The wheels are different. I don't know about, so like the way I color grade is really simple. So like I just need to learn the nodes and the wheels. That's going to be my big problem. But I'll get there. We'll get there. You're wrestling going full time. I want to get there one day. DaVinci is awesome though. Oh, you will, dude. You've been growing quite a lot. I really enjoy your videos. You feel like you also do or have what I aim for, which is just a pleasant, chill vibe. You know, like there's a lot of drama on YouTube, and it's nice to find people that are just pleasant. Do you know what I mean? Just aiming to be just a nice person and be excited about cameras. Like I bought the XM5 because of your videos, because I was like really on the fence about it, and then the way you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. It's cool. Also, I want to make videos about it, so it just works out. DaVinci is nice. I find ChatGPT very helpful in answering how to. That's a good idea. Anyway, thanks for company. I'll see you next time. Good luck with new beginnings. Thank you. Have a great night. I have no idea how to pronounce your YouTube name, I'm afraid. So, but I hope that you have a good evening. Infinity Suite has become free, so photographers are also. I didn't know that. What games am I currently playing? I'm big into Star Citizen. I really enjoy Star Citizen. But I've also got a friend into some of the Total War games, so we're currently playing through Warhammer 2, before we move into Total War 3. So I'll play that a lot, and then we play a lot of just silly indie games, and then a decent amount of Minecraft, but I haven't played in like a year. So I review headphones and audio gear, but I also talk about cameras and lenses. Oh, nice. You've been a big inspiration over the last year and a half that I've been doing this. That's sweet. Thanks so much. I'll go find your channel. And give it a wee sub. Bedrock Reviews. There we go. Subscribed. Very cool. You reviewed that Feutech. Yeah, those Scorp gimbals are nice. Very cool. Have you ever seen FPV drone stuff and thinking about getting into it? Yeah, I've always wanted to. I just don't want to spend the money because I'm going to crash it. So, and I don't have that kind of disposable income. Nice mic. Yeah, this is the Bluebird bottle style microphone. And then I have the baby bottle up there. They're the old ones. So this is before Logitech bought Blue. So these are the sort of early 2000s, late 90s, I think. I obviously noticed your addition a few weeks ago with a ride on your motorcycle. Will/have you made any videos on... no, but I want to. I actually reached out to DJI, potentially RIP. We'll see how that goes. I think next year in the spring, I want to do like a couple of more action camera stuff for motorcycle videos, because there's not actually all that much out there about how to rig up cameras on a motorcycle for like cinematic video. Like a lot of it's more for like security stuff. But yeah, I really want to do it more, and I want to try some 360 stuff with it as well. But yeah, I just got the motorcycle in October, but it's like freezing outside. There's snow everywhere, so it's not in a shed. It makes me so sad. I love the snow. This is the first winter I'm not happy because I can't ride my motorcycle. I switched from Adobe to DaVinci a little over a year ago, and node-based color grading is unreal. There's so many ways to grade. I reinvented my process at least 3 times already. That's cool. Yeah, I want to do that. I just haven't had the time, but I'm excited to do that now. Could you do a new camera rig for the FX30 or some camera similar? Yes, I'm getting a new monitor and V-mount system in for the FX30. There's a new monitor that you can do touch focus, and it's wired instead of wireless, which I think is better, because you're not going to have it fail. I think my dog's trying to get in the door. So yes, once those come in, I'll make a video for the FX30 rig, for sure. At least $20 for 10 years. Yeah. Oh, it is a whole ZR. I didn't realize that. That's so true. What chair is that? Looks comfy. This is the most expensive chair I've ever sat in. This chair costs more than our whole living room couch suite. So this was a sponsored video. It is by Eureka Ergonomics. So the desk and the chair are both by Eureka. They are incredible. Like, they are so solid, so comfortable. I think the chair is like $800 or $900, and the desk was quite a bit more than that. But yes, so very expensive premium products, and very, very nice. But yeah, they're expensive. Yep. I think if you get used to DaVinci, it could even be faster. Yeah. So, what's his name? Zach Mayfield just put out a video that was incredibly helpful, where he built a template. So I'm basically gonna copy that, but obviously tweak it to the way that I tend to edit. But that looked like a super helpful video, so I'm gonna check that one out again. I did watch through it, but I'm gonna actually sit down sometime next month and actually plan it out. Sweet buying myself a PC off Marketplace before the price gets worse. Yeah, since I sold mine off a long time ago. Excited to get some gaming back into my life. Oh, like the seasons in my life where I just don't touch my PC for gaming, I'm just sad. That's the way that my life works. This one, I don't know. I think it's by Samsung. It is unmarked. I'm so sorry about the noise. I think it's by Samsung. If you just search small desk stand, you'll probably find something like this. I like having the arms, but this desk is too thick to take one of the clamps, so I have to use this instead. Is it easier and better to use focus with dial? Is it easier to use focus with dial instead of putting up a focus motor for the FX30? What do you mean by focus with a dial? 35mm 1.4. Is it a manual lens, or is this an autofocus lens that you're wanting to manually focus? Oh, on the RS4 Pro. Ah. Okay, sorry. I don't know. I don't tend to. I haven't found a good solution for manually focusing on a gimbal for manual lenses. It is, without building a big rig, I just haven't found a good solution yet. The only solution that I've ever used that actually worked for me was having a second person that wirelessly pulled focus. I did a music video with Caden Tooley a little while ago. He's the videographer for King and Country, and yeah, so we got to do that. But for solo operating, it is really difficult, which is a bit annoying. Also forgot to say that DaVinci is handling log gamuts pretty fine. Oh, nice. Never knew that changing the name of the channel doesn't change a chat handle. That's fine. Are you, I can't, like, is there, am I supposed to see a different name here? I apologize. I need to go here soon. I do apologize, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of creative cinematic content you make. It'd be interesting to see you post-processing when you figure it out. Sorry, see your post-processing when you figure it out. I'm dyslexic. I can't read. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, like, there's something, I think it's also going to be like new year, new me, you know? Like having a whole new system in January when I'm going full time and I'm learning it all and I'm figuring it all out. New camera, new audio setup, everything. It's just a good time to sort of learn it. That makes sense to me. So rather than just trying to squeeze in evenings or stuff when I can, it's a pretty big undertaking to switch your whole editing setup and style. So yeah, are there movies shot with? I'm guessing that's lavalier mics, and how do you hide them if you use them? I don't know about movies, but weddings, we use them all the time. Interviews, sometimes we use them. A lot of TV shows obviously use them. So it depends on the person's clothing. So you can tape it to their chest, if you can do so appropriately. Just use your wisdom with that one. If you're touching someone, be cautious. You can clip it in behind a tie. You can put it under the shirt, all that kind of stuff. You can get pretty creative ways. And there are some like dedicated types of tape and clips specifically for lavalier mics. So I would give those a go. Mr. Alex Tech also has a lot of great vids about DaVinci Resolve. It helped me get up to speed pretty quick. I will check that one out. Let me pull that one up. Mr. Alex Tech. I'm gonna have to like force myself to do it I'm gonna cancel my Adobe subscription and just not touch it. And that way I'm forced to learn it, So what do you think is a better investment in battery type system, NPF or V-mount? So NPF is way cheaper. V-mount is better. I've had, like, sometimes things act weirdly with NPF if you try to power loads of things out of it, because I think it has like a maximum output. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm no electrician and I know nothing. So I've found with V-mount batteries, I can more comfortably power multiple devices than NPF. But that also depends on your plate and all that kind of stuff. But it is a lot cheaper. If you're just looking to power like your camera and a monitor, NPF is fine. If you're wanting to do like 4 or 5 different things and you've got like thousands of dollars of camera equipment, you should probably go for V-mounts. They're not very expensive anymore. So can I star in a movie you make one day? Kate, I don't know. Like, I don't know your acting skills. For those of you who don't, this is my intern who recently just graduated from college and made my life living hell. That's why I quit, and I'm going full time on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. Cade's great. Cade, can everybody tell Cade to start his YouTube channel that he was going to do about coffee? Because he was going to start a coffee YouTube channel, and he's very good with coffee, and would do a good job. So everyone in chat, tell him. Yeah, I just had a Cyrillic name. No. Oh, I see what you mean. That makes sense. NPF if you got Sony ecosystem or Atomos monitors. Yeah, so NPF for monitors, obviously most monitors use NPF. So, I mean, yes, back to the NPF for V-mount. I would definitely say if you can only get one, go NPF. But if you're going with V-mount, you should probably have NPF batteries already, if that makes sense. Because like if you have a monitor or any of those sort of accessories, most of them are powered off of NPF. So I recently bought the S5 II and it's great. Nice. Mine is in the mail. So I got the 2X entirely because I like the blacked out. I like it blacked out. It's so stupid, isn't it? I also think because it can record to SSDs, I'm tempted to actually record to an SSD and then just plug that straight in. So then I don't need to worry about SD cards because that would just be handier. But the S5 IIX does look really cool. I really shouldn't. I mean, the S5 II is exactly the same camera. But yeah, I like the design. You'll do it? I don't know. He said he'd do it a year ago. Hey, we'll see. There you go. Somebody said it already. Mr. Camera Junkie himself said that you need to start it, Kate. So it's really important. Do you prefer being... I read that as peeing. Sorry. Do I prefer being behind the camera or in front of it? Historically, always behind. Like I hate being and there's part of me still hates being in front of the camera. I am more than happy to be in front of the camera if I get to control the camera. That obviously shows that I have control issues. If the lighting is good and the focal length is what's the word? Pleasing enough, because different focal lengths can really emphasize certain features, right? If I can control it in the way that I can make it look decent, then I'm happy enough. But I am an incredibly insecure person, so typically behind. If anybody else is using the camera, behind. As far as I recall, some Godox lights still utilize NPF batteries. Yeah, they do, and the Amaran 60X, which is what I use for my key light, it uses like an NPF to V-mount adapter. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I actually just bought this. This is this is in my next cool tech under $50. It is a V-mount plate that takes 2 NPF batteries. So you just put 2 NPF batteries in there, and then you can slot that onto a V-mount plate, and it has USB-A, C, and a DC out, and a D-tap. So this was like $30 on Amazon. I don't know if it's like particularly good yet. The one thing I was really hoping with this is that it's hot swappable, but it's not. So it requires both batteries to be in there for it to send any power out. I was hoping that it would be like both. So you could take one out and then wait for the other one to send it out and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is only like $30. It's a little bit wider than most V-mount batteries. So if you're building a rig, the screen doesn't quite sit on the side very well. But I'm trying to figure out a cool way to fit this into a rig build. So yes, I hope that's helpful. That'll be in January's video of cool tech under $50. Cool camera gear under $50. Don't we all? Yeah. Yeah, for real. It's easier to... It's nice to be behind the camera, but if I'm going to be in front of the camera, yes, I need to control it. So, alrighty. I think we're going to wrap up here. I've got about 10 minutes before I need to go eat dinner and watch a movie with the wife. So, V-mount batteries make sense for me only in heavy camera rigs, although it could be used as a power bank. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I like them in a camera rig, not even because of like the actual output, right? Because NPF can actually do the same thing, but the weight on the back of a cinema rig balances the rig much better than NPF batteries do. But I'm working on a rig for my Fujifilm X-M5, and I think I'm just going to use an NPF battery on the back, and I've got like a really small, you know, I'll put the Typoc Samara Cs on the front, and I think that's just going to be like the ultimate mini Cine rig. I think that's what I'll call it, the mini Cine rig, because you can get 6K open gate anamorphic, which granted I won't be putting an anamorphic lens. I could put an anamorphic lens on it, on this tiny little camera, all powered by a little NPF battery. I think that'd be really cool. With put like a teeny tiny little handle on top. That'd be sick. David, you are welcome. Glad that you're here. Do you think a softbox key light is necessary for talking heads when you only have time at night for filming? Yes. Yeah, I would definitely say so. Lighting is like the biggest thing. Like lighting is the thing that will make the biggest difference in the quality of your videos, like of the way that your image looks. If I'm honest, I think especially for YouTube style stuff, your camera is one of the least important pieces in the puzzle. And I know people will hate me for saying that, but I think it's true. I think your lens, your lighting, and your audio are more important than your camera. This image right now, I could get this on a ZV-10, because the lighting and everything is basically the same. Now, more expensive and higher end cameras are going to be better when you take them outside. You got different dynamic range. You've got faster readout speeds if you're moving. You don't want that kind of rolling shutter kind of effect. There's lots of other things to it for sure. But yeah, like I see a lot of people spending $3,000 on a camera and then using the kit lens, no lighting, and are just using the on-camera mic. And like at that point, you'd be better off getting a much cheaper camera. Lighting will make a massive difference. If you can pick up a key light and maybe a hair light. So like this one is my key light. So this is just a light bar. It's not even like a softbox. It's just a bar. And then I've got a couple other little bars over there and one back there. Like in this shot, I think I've got 5 or 6 different lights going just to sort of give the different effects that I like. Really makes a big difference. Once you start going into lighting, you won't be able to stop. It doesn't perform very well on YouTube, like actually making videos about lighting, but it makes a huge difference. I really want to get one. I don't have any space in here for one, but I would love to get into 3D printing. Which one do you recommend? Like, is there a good 3D printer for under $500? That would be my sort of closing question. And if you guys have any questions that you want to throw out, go ahead. We got about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But yes, I'd be interested in that. Yeah, I guess it's about time to get some rest. You've been saying that for like ever. So you've been saying, okay, last question, or I'm leaving now. I'm glad you've been here. I hope you've had a good evening. I'm about to get going as well, and we'll finish this up. But yeah, I'm going to try and do these live streams every week. Normally, I aim to do them on Mondays. Today is not Monday; it is Friday. But that is the norm. So yes, I hope you're all doing well, and hopefully coming into next year, I've got about 2, maybe 3 more videos planned for this month. And next year, I plan on making a whole lot more content. I'd like to do at least 2 videos a week. But I'm trying to find the balance between increasing the quantity, but definitely increasing the quality. So, yep. That'll do me. Alrighty, I am going to go get some dinner. And, oh, there we go. Bamboo Labs A1. I'm going to write that down. Perfect. Alright, thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great night. It's been a lot of fun, and I will see you all soon. See you later.